Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Talkin' Tunes. I am your host, Frank Walsh, and as you can see, I have two very handsome guests here today. I mean, we've had a lot of talented people on this show recently, but I can tell you that there are going to be none more talented than the folks we have today. I'm sitting here with a lady who is somewhat of a legend around the Boston music scene. She's known for her great musical stylings, her style, and her flair. And she is the daughter of a great First Lady of Blues woman whom we're going to talk a little bit about today. And also she has her great accompanist with her. So it is giving me great pleasure to introduce to you Miss Angela Warner and Mr. Phil Dutchman Hoke. Welcome.
How you doing, Frank? Thanks so much for having us today.
I tell you, I mean, we've had a lot of great guests here, but I don't think we've had any as stylish and as, radiant as you two are today.
Well, thank you. I can't speak for Dutch, but all I can say on that is thank you very much for noticing and my hard effort, and I am my mother's daughter after all.
You are your mother's daughter, and for any of you who knows the great Shirley Lewis, she is her mother's daughter. So there may be one or two people at home today who may not know who you are. So why don't you take a second or two and look right into that camera in front of you and let the folks at home know about Angela Warner.
Well, thank you. Again, it's nice to be here on your set today, Frank.
Pleasure.
My name is Angela Warner, and I am a blues singer, and I've been living in Massachusetts, Newton, for about 9 years at least. And I'm just feeling my way in the United States right now, trying to continue on with the legacy that my mother started down here in 1985, I think it was.
85, just about.
And since then, I've entered some local competitions. I'm performing with a trio with this fine gentleman here, who is, my God, what have I known you now, 25 years? You know me since I was a little kid coming down from Canada to play with Mom.
That's well, right. I have to jump in there when she said the word little. You're certainly one of our tallest guests on here. Probably in her flat feet, she's 6 feet tall, and with a couple of little heels on there, she's almost as tall as I am, and I'm 6'3". So, so I wouldn't say that you're one of our little guests today.
Well, at one time, it's hard to remember that far back, though.
I know. Yeah. So, Phil, what about you? Talk a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician, business owner, educator, originally from Central New York State, and I've been in the area for many years. I've more or less relocated. Boston's my home.
Cool.
I own Norfolk School of Music. We've been incorporated for 10 years. We're located in Hyde Park in Reedville. And we've been involved there with all ages, teaching all styles of music. Right now I've got a staff of about a half a dozen or so.
Great.
And we reach out to the community. We're active in bringing the joy of music to everyone that's interested.
Well, great. Is there any particular bent that you see or any trending that's going on as far as what people are looking for? Modern, American songbook, jazz, blues, rock and roll? I mean, any particular bent?
All of that and more.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Requests for country, different instruments, accordion, banjo, you name it, and we've probably seen the request for it.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So, Angela, why don't you take a couple of seconds? You know, we definitely talked about your mom, and I know that, as you said, you are your mother's daughter.
I'm proud of it.
And
yes.
As you should be, your mother was a Boston institution, and what was her nickname? Was she the First Lady of the Blues?
Oh, no, I think that goes to
Ella Fitzgerald?
Ella Fitzgerald or Billie Holiday.
But who's the local one? But she had a nickname.
Well, not to step on Miss Tony Lynn Washington's thunder, because she, after all, is our residential queen of the blues.
And Tony Lynn Washington is going to be on this show in a couple of weeks, folks. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, she's a great family friend.
She
great
is a great
entertainer
lady.
And great human being.
I think I'd put the human being before anything else.
Yes,
she is an absolutely wonderful lady.
An earth angel, just like my mother was. That's probably why they were like this, along with Miss Hattie Barrett.
Yeah.
Who, of course, you've had Shorty on the...
Absolutely.
And as I was saying, I lost my train of
thought.
Your
mom, and
yeah, she was the regal queen of the blues.
The regal queen of the blues.
Because of her headdress and her hats and her regalness.
Yeah.
Which is ironic that you mentioned that, because I used to tell all my friends how I suffered from Prince Charles syndrome.
Okay.
waiting for your mother to get off the throne so you can take your
Okay.
rightful
All
place.
right. All right.
And I remember when Mom got sick, one day we were driving her to Foxwoods for the last time,
Yep.
and Barry Corbin and I. And we were driving Mom to the Foxwoods Casino, and I said to her, I said, Mom, are you ready to pass the baton to me like grandfather, my
Yep,
grandfather
yep.
was in vaudeville, like grandfather passed it to you before he passed, you're going to pass it to me, are you ready? She said, no! So I never asked again. And play it for a little bit. It was around maybe a month before she was to leave us.
Yep.
And she was sitting on excuse my language, but she was sitting on the porta potty.
Yep. That's
Forgive
acceptable.
me, Mom.
That's acceptable.
She was sitting on the porta potty, and I just finished giving her dinner, and she was just finishing up with her Jell-O. And I said, Mom, are you ready to pass me the baton yet? And she kind of looked up at me, and she grabbed the little plastic Jell-O spoon, and she went, you're knighted.
Very
I said,
cool.
Ma, I've waited 30 years. Could you at least use the knife?
Exactly. Very cool. Very cool. That was your mother.
That was my
Back
mom.
to your original question, I recall her original band used to introduce her as the Lady with the Blues.
Lady with the blues, with the blues. She had.
Every show,
I
yep,
did my
she'd come out to
research,
that.
to try to find it, and I came across a couple of different ones of nicknames that they were calling her, But I think I told you the quick story about how I met your mother for the first time. I was up. This goes back probably late '80s, '88, '89, '90, somewhere around there, and I happened to be up on a beautiful Saturday up in Strawberry Bank up in Portsmouth. And beautiful day, and I said, boy, I'm going to be sticking around here for the day. So I went up to one of the locals, and I said, excuse me, I said, is there any little clubs around here, any places, bars, music, entertainment? And he goes, yeah, go down here, take a right and a little left, and you'll find a cool place down there. And I said, cool. So I waited around, had dinner, went in about 8:30, 8:45. Look up there, walk in, who was playing that night? Shirley Lewis.
Bringing the house down.
Bringing
no
the
doubt.
house down, and it was like at that time I said, boy, I think I've heard of her, because she played Boston a lot.
Yes.
But I was in Portsmouth, and I said, boy, I think she plays around Boston. I said, I heard she's pretty good, and oh my God, she was, bringing down the
phenomenal,
house
wasn't
like she always did.
It's like she said, when she sang love.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But everyone is very well familiar how much she loved the industry and all of her fans. But Mom's greatest joy and accomplishment was her children, her 2 daughters. I have a younger sister, and her 2 grandsons.
Nice.
And her 4 great-grandsons, which have now added to 5 now since she's been passed. So
Wow.
she left behind 2 daughters, 2 grandsons, and 5 great-grandsons.
Wow.
All boys, no girls.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to hear a chip off of Miss Shirley Lewis's block in a second. Why don't you talk a little bit about the couple of songs that you're going to sing for us? I know you got a little Christmas thing going, and you
Yes,
look
'cause
very
I have a little
Christmassy and festive.
It is the season. Oh, happy Hanukkah.
Happy
to all
Hanukkah,
my
too.
Jewish brothers and sisters out there.
Yeah.
And Merry Christmas to all you Christians. And just happy holidays to whoever.
Well said. So what are you going to be singing? First 2 songs.
What are we doing?
Rather Go Blind.
Yes, we're going to
to
do Etta
open.
James.
Etta
for you,
James?
because I heard you're an Etta fan.
I love Etta.
And my mother had her own originals that are pretty well known in the area, but whenever she took the stage, she couldn't leave the stage without someone asking, Shirley, please do I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you 2 go up there and take your positions up there and
Both.
get ready to sing. I'll
Thank
take
you.
your little microphone off there.
Be careful now, that's hot stuff.
I know.
I'm talking about the mic.
No, I'm talking about you, baby. Get up there and sing.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you were going to be in for a treat here. I have heard this woman perform before in very intimate settings, and she and her trio, they do a fantastic job. And before we leave today, you're going to find out some of the venues where she plays. So, without further ado, I present to you Miss Angela Warner and Mr. Dutch Hoke.
Thank you. Something told me it was over when I saw you and that girl talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. When I saw you and that girl walking out, ooh, I would rather go blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me now. You see, I love you so much, I don't want to watch you leave me, baby. But most of all, I just don't want to be free, no. I was just sitting here thinking of your kisses and your warm embrace. When the reflection in the glass that I held to my lips now, baby, revealed the teeth that were all over my face. Ooh. Something told me it was all over when I saw you and that girl talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. But most of all, I just don't want to be free. And baby, I'd rather be blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me now. And baby, woo, I'd rather be blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me. Love you, mommy. Woo. All right. Do I want you? Oh my goodness. Thank you. I don't want to ruin it. It's so pretty. Thank you, Dutch. Well played, my friend. Well played. All right. Now let's liven it up just a little bit. That song is always hard and difficult for me, but you can understand why. But I love doing it just the same. Hope you enjoyed it. Love you more, Mommy. Shall we? Here we go. Jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Going and flowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night.
kick up your feet, jingle around the clock. A mix a hand to mingle and the jingle bell beat. Ah, that's the jingle bell. Hey, that's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell rock. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Merry Christmas.
Come back over here. Angela, that was unbelievable. Dutchman, nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Oh, this is the best part I like because you get to put your hands on me, Frank.
I'll tell
Are
you.
you married?
I am,
Well,
but
you must be because you had to pause for a minute.
I was going to say I am, but I fool around with performers. Just don't tell my wife we'll be watching
They
this.
should because there's a lot of different kind of performers in all sexes. Anything I should
But
be-
before I get into any more trouble, and I probably already am, the first song, the Etta James, obviously that was heartfelt, because of your mom, and I could definitely see that oozing out of your pores, and I'm sure that the folks at home can do the same. And Phil, Dutchman, with your accompaniment, I mean, it just takes it over the top.
Well,
Just
thank
takes it over the top.
We have another part of our trio, Mike, our guitarist.
Mike Duke, yeah. Mike is actually the music school was he was instrumental
Pun intended.
in my becoming involved there. He was originally teaching for the last generation ownership of the. Originally it was Shenango. That's the blues festival in New York. Originally it was Norfolk County music.
Mm-hmm.
After there was a chain of banks, I guess, so they
Okay.
kind of slipped along with that title.
Cool.
But Mike gave me the referral for teaching, so I was teaching for the previous ownership, and eventually the owner retired and sold the business to me. So
Cool.
Mike had his hand in
So you go way back then.
Norfolk School of Music. Yeah.
Were
Yeah, we
you
go back to-
a music school graduate yourself, I would assume?
I graduated from Berkeley. Yeah, back in the day.
Another one who couldn't get into a good school, huh? You just had to settle. I guess
Yeah, my-
all the state schools were filled, and
Well,
you
my-
had to settle.
My first run at engineering wasn't. I guess engineering wasn't my thing. So I guess I decided I better do something.
Well,
that I
engineering is
could-
progression and lineal and all that, and so is
Mathematical,
music.
yes,
Yeah,
it is.
very mathematical. But why don't you repeat the full name of your school and the location of the school, so just that the folks at home who might be interested in taking some lessons
Okay.
before we run out of time today.
Norfolk School of Music, located in Hyde Park, Reedville, Massachusetts. The website, norfolkschoolofmusicinc.com, if you want to visit the website.
Great.
Come and visit us. Drop in anytime.
And if you're in the area this Friday night, we're performing at the
Fairmont Grill.
I know,
in
this
Hyde
is a little
Park.
bit time sensitive, but you do play there on a regular basis, and I was going to ask you, why don't you rattle off some of the venues or some of the things that you may have coming up, and talk about your website and how people can reach out to you, and maybe how people can get out and watch you guys perform.
Well, you can reach me on Facebook,
Yep.
Angela Warner,
Yep.
the Consummate Entertainer.
Mhm.
And if you can't find me, if you're not my friend and you're my mother's friend, Shirley Lewis, you can find me on her Facebook page.
Mhm.
But I'm definitely out there. But I've come to find out there's quite a few Angela Warners.
Yeah, but there
On
is only
Facebook.
one real Angela Warner.
Got that right.
We know.
So I know you play the Fairmont.
The Fairmont.
Any other venues that you have played before and that you might go back to again? Or
What have we played? Anything? We're pretty much regular there. And oh yes, we've done the Chili Head Barbecue.
Chili Head Barbecue
and,
down in East Bridgewater?
With Shorty and Hattie's new place.
Yep.
A place that you can get great blues
Yep.
and soul food all at
Yep.
once. That's a win-win. You know what I mean?
Amen. And they're the nicest people too.
Yes.
And
They're family.
very, very
family.
cool.
They started the Boston Blues Society with my mother.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I bought you something.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You asked me to see if I can go through her things and find a poster. And I found this.
Oh, wow.
Blues Fest. Look
Look
at
at
all
that.
the names on that, eh?
Wow,
That
look
was
at that.
August 1997 Blues Fest in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Wow.
Do you recognize any of those names?
There are a few of them there. We have Roscoe Gordon, Joe Buddy, Charlie Archer, Dr. Ziggy, Big Jack Johnson, Juke Joint Johnny, blah, 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 blah.
Jack Ward's on there too, I
Jack
think.
Ward, Buddy Jack Ward, Spider John, and geez, somebody named Lewis. Somebody named Lewis. Any connection to that? Shirley Lewis. And this for me?
Yes.
Oh wow!
And
Thank
I
you very
also-
much. Thank you very much.
I found some pictures.
Wow, that's very cool.
This here is a picture of my mother with the man that brought her to this
Wow,
beautiful state of
that's cool.
Massachusetts. His
Yeah.
name was David Biesecker.
Wow, I know it might be hard for you to see that at home,
Hello,
but very
David
cool.
and Sandy, if you're out there watching.
Wow.
And this, of course, was my mother's favorite picture of her in the Santa Claus suit.
Wow, very cool, very
And
cool.
Actually, this little girl here in this photograph with my mother, that's Holly Harris's little girl.
Wow.
She's now in college. Where has the time gone, my son?
I'll tell you, that's what I'm beginning to say about this show. I mean, one of the disadvantages that we only have a half an hour, and you guys have more stories and more music that could fill probably a couple of hours.
There's one Dutch there with Annie Rhyme.
Look at that, Annie Rhyme.
Little
Wow,
Annie.
very cool, very cool.
And you want to know something about her? Outside of being a professional harp player,
Yeah.
they called her Little Annie Rhymes back in the 80s, and she hasn't grown an inch. She's still little, but she's
Wow.
a little powerhouse. But I have something special for you.
Oh my God, the
Yes.
gifts still keep on
Yes.
coming. Look at this. Look at
This
this.
is the only picture that I have. It was taken in 2007 by at the benefit for my mother at the no longer there. It's Harper's Ferry.
Sure. Harper's Ferry.
And here's a little girl. The two things my mother loved most:
Wow.
singing and children. And if anybody knows who this little girl is, please let me know. Because
Wow.
I'm sure she's all grown up now, but isn't she adorable?
Absolutely.
So
And this
the-
is for me as well?
That's for you.
Oh,
to put up
wow.
on your wall of
Absolutely.
stars.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, all of this, you know, festivity here has made me a little bit verklempt. And we're kind of running a little bit
Okay.
out of time. So I know that you had prepared a couple of other songs. But I think what we might do, how long do you think your next song is?
Well, why don't we just do one more?
Do one more.
do one more.
There's a clock right over there, so pay attention to that clock.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm on a game show.
All right.
Beat the clock.
Get up there, get up there. There's going to be some editing done on this show, I can tell right now, folks.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has totally caught me by surprise. And if you had known Shirley Lewis, you know what a quality individual she was, and you know how revered she was as a musician and as a person. And I don't think that there was a festival or a benefit or anything that had to do with helping other people where Shirley wasn't there. And I'm sure that her daughter Angela is going to follow in those footsteps. So, without further ado, once again, Angela Warner and Dutchman Hoke.
Thank you. This is going out to everybody.
It's very clear our love is here to stay. Together we going a long, long way. In times the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay. It's very clear our love is here to stay. Together we going a long, long way. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancy. And in time
one of my mother's. This is one of my mother's original songs. So I have to cheat a little. All right. Well, Wiggles had a double chin, 2 buck teeth, and a simple grin. Blueberry boogie. I'm blueberry boogie. There, blueberry boogie, just pick your bushes clean. Yeah, Mrs. Wiggle was short and fat when she been over on water bump. Blueberry boogie, the blueberry boogie. It's the blueberry boogie, said pick your bushes clean. Woo! Millie Twitty was very nice, but Twitty was a string wife. Blueberry boogie, it's a blueberry boogie. I said blueberry boogie, said pick your bushes clean. Woo, blueberry boogie. I said blueberry blueberry boogie, said pick your bushes clean. Thank you.
Figure it out.
Well, I want to say, on behalf of myself and fellow local musicians, thank you and your staff and your crew for all that you do to keep music alive, and in the viewers online, that they can see us, hear what we have to say, you know, put our little plugs out there.
Thank you.
Thank you for loving music.
It's my pleasure.
Thank
and
you for being a friend of my mother's.
Thank you. And now a friend of yours.
And thanks for having me so much.
Thanks. And Phil.
Ditto, Frank.
Thank you, Phil. It was a pleasure to have you. So, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. It was a pleasure to have Angela and Phil Dutchman on here. So, until the next time, thanks everybody involved in this show. Tune in and tune on.